In my English 120 classes, I feel like I learned a lot of different things, especially stuff that'll help me in my future professional and college careers. Uh, when I first started the class, I felt like my writing was okay. Like it wasn't the best, but it wasn't terrible. And honestly, I felt like it was pretty good for being me, uh, being someone who was never felt like I was that great of a writer. And um, after being in the class, I was able to improve a lot of things uh, in many ways. Like, I believe that my process as a writer has uh, gone up a lot because I used to be that person who would just sit down and write whatever came to their mind and just leave it be. And that probably wasn't the greatest idea, mostly because um, what was on the paper, that was it. Nothing else, nothing more. There were little errors here and there I would fix, but that's what it was. It would state at that. And um, that kind of would affect my grade a lot because there would be a lot of errors. There would be um, more than just grammatical errors, but just like the way my paper was presented. And if I do want to continue on in my college career, and I would most likely need it for my professional career at one point or another. Um, I'm gonna have to do more than that, and I feel like this class helped me a lot with my writing process. Um, I also feel like it organized my work a lot more than I was originally thinking it would. I feel like I was able to kind of give my papers a little bit more of a flow to it rather than it being one thing and jumping to the other. Um, it helped out a lot better in my process as a writer. Uh, I feel like uh, genre was always such a big issue for me in the sense where I don't feel like I'm a very creative person. So writing not necessarily my forte, and so on and so forth. But my I feel like being given these different genres to write in, especially in English 120, I felt like it was a lot more of a personal kind of writing rather than it being very formal. Um, I feel like because we switched off every so often, it did help me distinguish the two because I would often put in my own opinions in my work, which is kind of what you need to do, but I would often cite myself as an I. And while in my proposal, I learned that I should not do that because I'm trying to sell them on this idea, not because of me, but because of there's this general idea going on with it. Um, I feel like I was able to incorporate a lot of my own dialect and a lot of the language that I grew up in while writing in English 120. Like, I was able to incorporate my Hispanic heritage or, the New Mexican dialect when writing a lot of my assignments, or like I did in my open letter for my my multimedia proposal, the part 2. I wrote in a more informal way, but I used dialect that was going to use a lot of pathos in it. And I feel like I was able to show my dialect a lot more within the process of these. Um, I think this is all going to help me in my future career, most especially being able to transfer my ideas and my writing into different genres, um, because I do plan on being in front of a lot of people, and I want to. Uh, my main audience is always going to be a very visual audience, and I believe that's going to help me a lot. Um, as for my research and everything that I want to continue research, I personally love it. And I believe that this class has prepared me, especially giving me a new way to take down notes with my annotated bibliography. I believe this class helped me a lot in my future, and I believe I am going to use all of these SLOs in the future when I do any more writing assignments.